What do a rapper, a president, and a talk show host have in common? They're among the most heavily guarded people on Earth. But why? Is it their wealth, their influence? Or what do they represent? How much security does it take to protect a man who led the free world? What kind of surveillance surrounds a billionaire mogul who redefined culture? And what would you see if you peeked behind the gates of a $200 million estate? These aren't just celebrities. They're symbols of power, legacy, and global attention. And when the spotlight never turns off, protection becomes priceless. From former presidents and media empires to fashion queens and international athletes, we're revealing the top 10 most heavily guarded black icons in the world. You'll be stunned by the net worth, secrecy, and defense strategies surrounding each one. Let's pull back the curtain, if you dare. Barack Obama. What happens after you stop being president, but never stop being a target? Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, made history in 2008 as the first black man to hold America's highest office. But with that history came unprecedented security threats, and they haven't stopped since he left the White House in 2017. With an estimated net worth of $70 million, Obama and his family live under ongoing Secret Service protection for life, as guaranteed to former presidents. His residences in Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Martha's Vineyard are protected by 24/7 armed security, fenced perimeters, surveillance drones, and secure panic rooms. Even his public appearances are handled like military operations: snipers, escorts, encrypted communications. Why so much protection? Because Obama isn't just a man. He's a living symbol of progress, and sadly, still a lightning rod for threats. He doesn't ask for attention, but history made him a permanent high-value target. Beyoncé. What does it take to guard the most powerful woman in music? Start with $826 million, global stardom, and a fan base so intense it's called the Bayhive. Beyoncé lives like a royal, and she's protected like one too. Whether she's performing in Dubai or walking through Manhattan, Beyoncé is surrounded by former military personnel, armored SUVs, and counter-surveillance teams. At her Malibu estate, her private security detail uses drones and infrared sensors to monitor her 24/7. Her concert venues are swept before every show. Her travel is strictly coordinated. Even her children have their own trained bodyguards. Why so much? Because Beyoncé isn't just a celebrity. She's a cultural icon, a billion-dollar brand, and a mother. And when the world treats you like a goddess, you need to build a kingdom that keeps the chaos out. Rihanna. How do you guard a fashion icon, beauty mogul, pop star, and new mother? All in one, Rihanna, with an estimated net worth of $1 billion, is no longer just a performer. She's a business empire, and that empire is wrapped in maximum security. Her homes in Barbados, Beverly Hills, and London are secured with motion sensors, armored gates, and private command centers. She travels with a rotating team of elite bodyguards, many of whom are former UK Special Forces. Paparazzi have been known to stalk her for days. And yet, Rihanna almost always vanishes right before they find her. That's the power of advanced surveillance and decoy logistics. Add to that her relationships with high-profile figures, like $AP Rocky and her expanding fashion empire. And you get a celebrity who's always in demand and always under guard. LeBron James. How do you protect a man who's bigger than basketball and built like a tank? LeBron James isn't just an athlete. He's a global powerhouse, a media empire, and a man with a $1.2 billion fortune. Between NBA seasons, film production deals, endorsement empires, and political activism, LeBron lives a life that requires top-tier security every step of the way. His Brentwood mansion features multi-level fencing, private surveillance towers, and retina scan access rooms. His children are privately educated with bodyguards, and his public appearances, from the ESPYs to UN events, are protected by specialized close protection teams. LeBron even travels with private armored transportation for high-risk events, because when your reach is global, your threats are too. Tyler Perry. How do you protect the man who built his movie studio? Bigger than Warner Bros.? Tyler Perry, worth $1.4 billion, isn't just a filmmaker. He's a mogul, a philanthropist, and one of the most potent names in Black Hollywood. His Atlanta estate is a fortress surrounded by armed guards, surveillance towers, and biometric entry points. The compound is so massive, it even includes its emergency helipad. His 330-acre Tyler Perry Studios is similarly fortified, with checkpoint gates, surveillance drones, and rapid response personnel trained for studio-level threats. He's known to travel discreetly, often switching vehicles or using private airfields to avoid detection. For a man who built an empire from scratch, security isn't about ego, it's about protecting the dream he fought so hard to build. Jay-Z. How do you secure hip-hop's first billionaire couple? You start with $2.5 billion in assets, and an empire too powerful to fail. Jay-Z doesn't just own record labels. He runs brands, art collections, streaming platforms, and cultural conversations. His Malibu compound with Beyoncé is under complete military-grade surveillance, with armed guards at every perimeter, biometric gates, and AI-driven monitoring systems. At public events, he's surrounded by former CIA and Secret Service agents hired through elite private firms. He's also been spotted using bulletproof Maybachs and even decoy motorcades in high-profile situations. Jay-Z isn't just guarded because he's famous. He's guarded because he's an institution. Kanye West. What do you do when your name is Kanye West, and the whole world is watching, judging, and chasing you? Kanye, now legally known as Ye, has built a career out of music, fashion, and controversy, becoming one of the most talked about figures in pop culture. But fame at this level comes with a price, and a need for serious protection. With a staggering net worth of $2.77 billion, Ye's security is run like a military unit. He's trailed by ex-Navy SEALs, armed bodyguards, and private surveillance contractors. During public appearances, his team blocks off entire hotel floors, controls entrances, and even sets decoy vehicles. Why? Because he's polarizing, unpredictable, and sometimes a target of his behavior. His homes, including his previous Hidden Hills mansion and new properties across the US and Europe, are fitted with facial recognition locks, custom armored doors, and panic bunkers. Oprah Winfrey. What kind of protection do you need when you control an entire generation of influence? Oprah Winfrey, with a net worth of $3.2 billion, is more than a media icon. She's a living brand of hope, power, and success. But her name has made her a target for decades. Her primary estate, the Promised Land in Montecito, is guarded like a presidential retreat. Think facial scanners, restricted airspace, private guards on horseback, and a full-time on-site security director. She travels by private jets, uses digital jamming devices to prevent drone intrusions, and employs one of the most discreet and sophisticated personal protection teams in Hollywood. Why so much protection? Because Oprah isn't just wealthy. She's trusted by millions and watched by just as many. Michael Jordan. What happens when the most iconic athlete of all time becomes a $3.5 billion brand? Michael Jordan, the legend, the logo, the icon, now lives life away from the public eye. But his security has only grown stronger. From his mega yacht with anti-drone jammers to his private Chicago estate with laser-triggered alarms, Jordan's team keeps him unseen, untouched, and unreachable. His travels are heavily controlled, often kept secret until after departure. He uses encrypted communications, untraceable motorcades, and bodyguards trained in evasive driving. Michael Jordan may not say much, but his $3.5 billion empire says enough to attract global interest and require elite protection at all times. Aliko Dangote. How do you protect a man worth $24 billion? In a country facing security challenges, Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, runs a network of refineries, factories, and trade routes that power entire economies. He's not just rich, he's critical infrastructure in human form. Military-grade barriers, ex-special forces bodyguards, and private helicopters on standby protect his Lagos and Abuja residences. During travel, he coordinates with national and international security agencies, ensuring every movement is monitored. Dangote's personal security team is among the best trained in Africa because kidnapping threats are real, and so is the pressure of running a continent-wide empire. He's not flashy, but every second of his life is calculated, protected, and guarded with precision. These 10 black icons didn't just rise to the top, they became symbols of change, of influence, of unstoppable ambition. And symbols? They need to be protected. Which life would you choose? The spotlight or the shield? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories from behind the gates of fame.